Yeah, and you mentioned, complicated and timely process of finding analysts and hiring analysts and getting them trained up in your systems. That feels like a pretty critical component of what MDR can fill for your team. But are there any other aspects like tight budgets or just adding different skill sets to your team that MDR can provide, or something else? Mike, I'll direct that question to you.
Yeah, I think it's really company dependent. So I think that if it's an MDR service where I think that the core service is, you have like a SIEM or some type of security analytics system, security data lake, you're feeding all of your events to it. And I think that there's different flavors of how the providers can offer the service. In some companies, it's a better model to kind of like have the MDR provider give you the collectors and they own and manage the SIEM, all of that kind of stuff. And then in some other companies, you might own your own software, your own SIEM, your own EDR, and then the MDR service kind of manages it for you. And I think that there's a lot of, offshoot services that sometimes make a difference. If there's the ability to say, okay, ad hoc, we have something going on and we want to hire you for a forensic service for this specific incident. Maybe that's going to take 2-3 weeks of time and kind of like have some of those things available. I think those additional capabilities, make a difference a lot of times.
Okay, awesome. Rich, anything to add on?
Yeah. No, I think you're spot on. I think it's really important to, look at your own environment. I mean, again, we know MDRs could fill a ton of different gaps, right? I mean, talent shortages is real. Budgets are tight, right? So we know, and it's a big part of it, but the response times, the 24/7 eyes on glass, to try to fill that in-house, again, to Mike's point, unless you're a very large company, the cost isn't there. I've done this analysis several times, and it's way more cost effective to bring on an MDR to manage the environment, whether they're hosting it or whether you're hosting it. It's way more important. I think it's been beneficial for an MDR to host that, or I'm sorry, to manage it and ramp up. So several reasons, right? Cost effectiveness. I think there's also a benefit of being able to handle multiple alerts and multiple incidents at the same time, right? So if you have a local team, typically you're going to be staffed just enough. And so when alert comes in, team's handling it. What if another one comes in and another one comes in, right? Your MDR is staffed appropriately to handle that ramp up and ramp down. And that's just something you don't want to have to worry about day in and day out, right? It's important that we're focused on ensuring, we're supporting the business and enabling them to do what they need to do successfully, as opposed to managing the tier 1 tickets and so forth.